Right, right. Look, I know it's hard to take care of your family sometimes. I understand that. Hell, I done lived in a predicament for a year or so. And sometimes, oh Jesus, I just want to ring them all. Just ring all their bells. There's a wonderful line from CSI that says, you know, a man could get up very early in the morning and just kill people all day long, morning, noon, and night. And every night he'd go to bed. His killing wouldn't be done. Madness, like gravity, just needs a little push. I didn't lose it last night, so that was good. So I guess I have to lose it this morning, yeah. We're going to try some vocal patterns. I have been horribly remiss in my duties as a vocal actor. So tonight, I shall be speaking of one of my speeches. I shall be doing the speeching at the Toastmasters. Hopefully you have found it's a Toastmasters. I know if you haven't, no. Oh, there we go. Also takes a minute. You gotta get a couple O's in there. Yeah. Yeah. You see a picture with all the shrimps on the Barbie doll. That's rude. Frankly, it's a little racist. Yeah. Yeah. Check your non-exile privilege. It's another thing you have to do with accents is you've got to practice all the words you think you might say, because you have to make choices. Like, do I make my THs Fs because it's more of an English thing or a British? Do you put more O's in your Aussie? I once was sitting at work answering calls at a credit card company of all places. Credit cards! And it was just a typical Wednesday, and 75 assholes deep. I'm like, well, you know what? Let's have fun. So I'm talking to this guy. I don't know what his name is. Tall, skinny guy. Nice guy. I was like, well, this next caller might need Jesus. This next caller might need Jesus. I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that. Okay? Beep. Thank you for calling Merchant Services. My name is Sean. How may I help you today? He is doubled over in pain, just laughing so hard. And this customer doesn't know me from Adam. So the customer was like, yes, I'm having difficulty with my machine, and I was wondering if you can blah 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 blah. So then at this point, I started going, oh no problem, sir. Don't you worry about it. We'll go ahead and get your your system re-downloaded, and as I'm saying more and more technical, it's like, and don't forget, we need to get your annual fee while I'm on the phone with you today. Sir, have you been looking at your electronic updates? And then you realize that 3 or 4 words into that idea, you've dropped your accent because you really haven't thought about how to say, download your customer agreement. You gotta download your customer agreement. Yeah. And as always, do your research. You're gonna do an accent, you should find somebody. I always tell people, I said, think about the person you think about when you think about like a southern accent. You think about Daisy Duke. I was raised up on Dukes of Hazzard, and I ain't shot nobody. So I was raised up on the Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, I was sat down in front of the TV. I don't blame my parents. That's why I get all my cultural icon references from the 80s. But when you talk Southern, you talk Dukes of Hazzard, man. That was it. Oh, now Uncle Jesse, very just, kind of attitude. You got some grits in it. You just hug somebody like some good grits. So That's not pleasant, but that's what it is. One take, baby. One take. It means all your mistakes are there. All of them. All of them. All right, let's try a different range.
Oh no. If you make a mistake, you have to suffer the consequences. It is very clearly.
It's almost like Wallace Shawn. You have clearly misunderstood. That's so much fun. Princess Bride is a wonderful movie. Can't recommend it enough. It's the kind of a movie you enjoy when you still have purity in your soul. Not much after that, though. And then when the world kicks you in the nuts if you don't... This is fun. If you ever watch Todd McFarlane? Todd McFarlane. No, he's the guy who did the comic books. Seth MacFarlane. Seth Green is the really cool guy you want to drink with. But Seth MacFarlane, if you ever see him voice Peter Griffin, he's all like, oh, Stewie, what are you doing? No, I'm a little, oh, Stewie. Oh, Lois. And it's funny, until I met someone from Maine, I didn't realize they all talk out of the side of their mouth like they got a secret. It's like, hey, good morning. Good morning to you. It's like, what? Who are you? Who'd you point those lips at, buddy? I don't know. Oh, yeah, we're going to go get some lobster. Lobster. I mean, it's incredible. It's, play with the shape of your mouth. That's another big thing. Because when you think about all the people in the world, why do they sound any different than us? Well, first of all, their lungs are a different size. So, they've got bellows at the chimney, and they're just like, and I'm meanwhile, my buddy over here is like, hey. So right there, you've got tonal differences. And then we have our legacies, how our parents pronounce things. I am from Baltimore in the state of Maryland. And then I moved down to Florida. People were like, what's that? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, state south of Georgia? Oh, that's Florida. I didn't need a florist in Florida. Yes, I did, actually. That wasn't true. I did buy flowers in Florida. Anyway, one day I'm sitting there around my, a friend's family, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I had to go back to Baltimore just to find an orange from Florida. And they're like, what? I said an orange. And they're like, what's an orange? I'm like, what do you mean, what's an orange? You eat it? They're orange? And they're like, oh, an orange. Really? So from now on, when I want to sound like a self-important white person, I just say, yes, I was enjoying some oranges from Florida the other day. Yes. They were delicious. God, that's fun. Let's see, one more you have to be very careful not to overdo your accent privilege. I love how you can just take the phrase, check your privilege. Just anything. You can look at anybody, and if they have anything that you don't have, just be like, hey, you need to check your 6'5" privilege, tall man. I should be doing it. You need to check your 7'2" privilege, tall man. Hey. Let's run right there. You can do that with anything. Absolutely anything. Check your blank privilege. And just... oh my God, I love it. I just love it. Every deaf person in the world should just learn the sign for check your hearing privilege. Because really, I mean, yes, you've had a hard lot in life because you were born in a certain manner. Yes, I acknowledge it. And I'm sorry. I cannot tell you how much I love the end of Chance the Rapper's song where he's like, I know you scared. You should ask us if we're scared too. And it's so perfect because if you look at it as a you people scenario, which it's not, it's a me and everybody else. And he's talking to me and saying, look, I know you're scared, but you should ask everybody you're scared of if they're scared too. And that's the beauty of it. We're all born differently. Equality is an ideal. It's like love and peace. Enjoy. Equality is an ideal. Does that mean we're ever going to get there? No, it doesn't. We're never going to get there. We'll never do. We're never going to look. You can find a pudding pop faster than you're going to find equality in the world. Wow, that was like if Bill Cosby smoked like 10 packs of cigarettes a day. Hell, if you get a chance, check out Red Fox's 1970 HBO comedy special. He smokes about 3 packs of cigarettes during a 2-hour show. It's absolutely amazing. He's just like, yeah, I can't work. I can't work unless I'm smoking. Woo. Oh man. Oh my God, Red Fox, one of the just amazing actor. I didn't really get into him in Sanford and Son. I like the show. Don't get me wrong. Great structure. Very visually exciting set. I mean, it's like it was like a sitcom based in the Smithsonian Museum version of Applebee's, because there's just shit all over the walls. And you're just like watching these two wonderful characters, just fun characters that are in an impossible situation. It's so funny because we started going, the 50s were all about blah 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 blah, and so many of the shows I think were ahead of their time for their dystopian dysfunctionality. Married with Children, my parents hated that show. Oh, the suggestiveness. Oh, little did I know. This is good. This is healing. Oh, Jesus, fix it, Jesus. Okay. Went way off on tangent, but that was good. Anyway, if you're gonna do an accent, you have to commit to it a little. Like I'm doing this project right now. It's an audio collage, and essentially what I'm doing is I'm asking friends of mine to read some of my poems, all of my poems. I've given them all away, all of them. They're all gone. Like I've literally run out of poems. I've got 3 left, and 3 of them all have very coarse language. I asked somebody. I was like, "Hey, you want to read for me?" He's like, "Yes, as long as it's not vulgar." And kids, if you didn't know, vulgar just means common. So he doesn't like common stuff. He wants uncommon stuff. Sure. I'll go ahead and send you something that's not too common there, you uncommoner. Uncommoning? Commoner? I mean, commoner is like a commoner, out of my way. By the way, that's the ugliest word. And there are like a million different iterations of it. But the ugliest word I have ever heard is those people. Now you might be familiar with you people. You people is pretty vicious. You walk into a group, I walk into a group, and I just be like, you know what the problem is with this situation? You people. I'm fighting words. You might as well just... Was it Jason Statham walked into a bar in, was it Crank? He was like, "All right, who wants some white meat?" It's like, oh, damn, somebody about to get beat to shit. Beat the shit out of him. Oh, he's gonna get the shit knocked out of him. It's always important when you develop a new voice, when you're playing around and you're just having a great time. When you develop a new voice, try to take notes. Mental notes, of course. Shape of the mouth. Shape of the mouth. Maybe an origin, maybe a name. I like to call this guy Louis Jazz Hands, because I like to think about Louis Armstrong the whole time I'm doing the voice. And you know how Louis Armstrong always sounded like that at the end of every line? He ended every line with a smile. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Every line. That's why he sounded that way. Louis Armstrong has a distinctive sound to his voice, his singing patterns, his vocal patterns, because he ended every line with a smile. See, in customer service, they give us little mirrors. Little mirrors we're supposed to hang on our cubicle wall so we can remember to be smiling when we have people call in. Thank you so much for calling me today. How can I assist you? Shorten my life by the length of your complaint. So there's a lot of pent-up aggression going in there. See, that's why you shouldn't have customer service. It leads to harder jobs. I did customer service for like 10 years, and then I went into a Fortune 500 company and I did customer service for 6 straight years. And in 6 years, what do you get a lot of? You get a lot of unhappy people. Like the lady who called me up and was like, "Where's my money?" No, actually, she was more like, "Where's my money?" No, it wasn't quite right. She was, I want to say, like, second generation African. So she was like, "Where is my money?" No, I'm not quite in my Nigerian mode this morning. We'll get there maybe. From Ada Abba. I did a voiceover for a Nigerian health care Facebook kind of thing. Social networking for doctors and stuff. Very posh. Oh, this is a long one. I don't think anybody's got the patience for 20 minutes. But maybe we'll try. Yeah. Well, then that means we need to wrap up. So we'll just have a sip of the coffee. Because you need to watch me do this. Remember, life is happiness. Be rosy. May your days be rosy. How gay is that shit? No, precious moments. There's a corporate sponsorship I'm not going to get. I don't think I was going to get it either way. I think it's Hallmark. They don't like words that are too vulgar. So I guess I'm a two-trick pony. So I'll do one of those tricks before I go. Let's see. Who did I talk to most recently? Yes, I talked to the Almighty One most recently. I like to call him Tao, because otherwise people think I'm religious. So I was talking to Tao the other day, and every time I'm on his show, he's like, do the thing. And I'm like, what? He's like, do the thing. I'm like, what? He's like, hey, do the thing. They call me Ellsworth on the day of my birth, but what the hell's an Ellsworth, and what's an L really worth? It's just another letter, not worse, not any better than any other bit of the alphabet, and yet my parents did not want me to forget what an Ellsworth could be worth. See, folks from different cities became part of the same tree when my mom and dad married, and to celebrate roots newly buried, they gave me a name from both sides. One was living, one had died, but neither could confide in me what an Ellsworth could be worth. Now, my uncle, he did what he did. He loved fishing as a kid, and as he grew to be a man, he traveled all over this land. He told stories and took pictures, and some of them were kind of boring, but he just didn't put in his passion. It just wasn't his passion. But he loved me, and he hugged me, and he told me what a Tellsworth can be worth. Now, my grandpa, he was a different kind of guy. And on disability, he had to rely, because while he read the Bible and while he loved God, we have to admit he was a little odd. He heard voices and made terrible choices, because being bipolar's a bitch. And that schizophrenia will give you that itch to get out of the bed in the middle of the night and go fuck with your family, though you know it's not right. He showed me what a Ellsworth could be worth. See, I don't even use Ellsworth most of the time. I honestly started using it when I began to rhyme. I think it kind of sounds, I don't know, I treat it kind of like a game. I think Ellsworth sounds like a rich man's name, the kind of gentleman that might carry a cane and look down with disdain on most of society. But in my sobriety, I must admit, I may be rich in spirit, but I'm broke as shit. If you charged me by the letter, I couldn't even spell Ellsworth. So, what do I do with this label? And what do I bring to the table? And how do I redeem this beautiful oak tree of its leaves where mediocrity concedes and hatred breeds. See, neither one of those will do. So it's up to me to bring something new, and this right here is where it starts. I'll tear open my mouth, I will pour out my heart, I'll live a life of praise and a life that's grateful, not a life filled with yawns and a life that's hateful. So when they lay me down in the ground at the foot of that tree, I pray the sound that I've found echoes continuously and offers a proper apology for my legacy. And as I fade into that earth, I pray I've shown you all what an Ellsworth can be worth.